I'm going to make some celery soup. And what's really good, it's going to be gluten-free and a vegan. And I'm not using, you might see recipes that say use a vegetable stock. But unless you make your own vegetable stock, I don't buy commercial vegetable stocks. There's stuff in there that I don't want going into my body. So I'm going to be satisfied enough with the flavor of the celery, garlic, onion, little thyme, and potatoes to give this soup body, because it's going to be very watery. This is what you throw out, because you have to clean and peel the celery, because when we blend it later, it'll be much smoother than if you would have left this in there. So, we have the celery. I'm going to chop up the onion, I'm going to chop up the celery. And we have a little bit of garlic. And the leaves from the center, like from the heart of the celery, are going to be used for garnish. Chop it up just a little bit or just tear up the leaves. So we're going to sweat up the vegetables in just a little bit of olive oil. This is really simple and it's healthy. You know why it's healthy? The celery that's in there. It takes the body more calories to burn the celery than what the value of the celery is. Well, that's fantastic. It's like eating something and it means nothing, and then you're burning a few more calories. I don't know how many more. Thyme goes great with a soup like this. Just like you put some in potato soup, we're going to sweat this up. You know, you can color it, but I'm not going to. Just going to sweat this up a little. A low flame now. And while this is sweating, I'm going to cut up the potatoes. Now, I don't know if you know this, but all these recipes that I make, I've never made before. So it's like on the fly. Most of the time they work. There are a few times where they don't, and those are the ones you don't see. But I know this is going to be nice. It just happened that there was a head of celery in the refrigerator. I didn't know that, and then I went and bought another head. My wife bought one. So I go, look at all this celery. I want to do something with it before it goes bad. And there you go. So I'm going to sweat this up just for a few minutes, shut the film off. It's silly to waste time watching that. You can hear it. It's just cooking nice and easy. And no color. You don't have to have it translucent, but we're going to sweat it up. More flavor is going to come out. Now to help this along, I lowered the flame and it's really sweating up nice and slow. To get things moving a little, if you were here you would smell this. It smells great. Cover it up. The steam will stay in there and there's no chance of browning anything. Meanwhile, there's the potatoes cut up. They're going to go in there in a few minutes. And why did I leave the peel on? I left the peel on just for color. So you're going to have a kind of white looking soup. Now you're going to have little spots of red in there. That's the only reason. You could take other potatoes, and you can take Idaho potatoes and peel them and cut them up and put them in there. It's your prerogative. But this is going to work out. I was very tempted to even take an apple and put it in there, but I'm not. So we'll just wait a few. There's nothing else to do. Just to sweat this up. And when it's all said and done and finished, then we're going to season it with a little salt and pepper. Celery is nice. You taste the celery when you make a chicken salad or egg salad and other salads. You put it in a regular salad. So this is going to be a strong flavor of celery because it's celery soup. Well, I had the lid on for about 3-4 minutes, and you can tell it's getting a little translucent, not much. And we're going to add the potatoes, the liquid, and I'm just going to sit back and let this simmer for about a half hour. Raise the flame when it simmers. I'm going to close it up, set the timer for a half hour, and then come back and look at it. And then when everything is cooked in there, I'm going to use my speed stick when I find it to puree that. There's another way of handling this too. You could have put everything without the liquid into like a Cuisinart and run it, just run it. Then put it in here, add the liquid, and not worry about using the speed stick. That's if you have one or not. So now it's boiling. Now I'm going to cut it down to a simmer, actually. Now come back, set the timer for a half hour. Hopefully it might work out just the way it is. Okay, I have not looked at this, so it could be a surprise. Half hour. Oh, this is going to take another half hour. This is like still very, very firm. And everything has to be extremely soft when we get done with this. There's no al dente here. So, being that that has reduced that much, I'm going to add another half a quart. So that's a quart and a half. Now I'll come back in another half hour. Well, we have an hour's worth of simmering here. Another half hour. Incredible. Okay, I'm going to raise the flame just a little. I hope it's done now because I'm getting a little bit hungry and I want to finish up here. I'm going to take the speed stick here, blend this up, see what the consistency is. This will take a few minutes, but so far I like it. So let me do this and turn this off for a second. It's taken a few minutes for me to get to this point, but once you see that it's just pulling it in all around. But before that happens, you'll have to just move it. And I would not cook it in a pot like this, and the only reason why I did that is better viewing. That's it. I would put it in a taller pot and not as wide, because when you put the speed stick in, it's much easier. This way it's a little messy, and I gotta have to be careful that it doesn't spit all over the stove. But as you see, it's blended well. Now what we have to do is, let's see the consistency. I'm going to blend some more, but look at that. Now, I want to taste it. And then, after I taste it, I'm going to season with salt and pepper. Excuse me, it's just a little hot. Let me season it up and finish up blending it. I added 2 teaspoons of this sea salt and pepper mix that I have. And I just shut it off, making it even smoother. And then I'll measure it. That is so pleasant. Smooth, light. I'll measure what we have, and then I'll make a little bowl. Well, I got 2 quarts, and there's the bowl, and we sprinkle some of the celery leaves. And there you have a very light, filling, and healthy. This will fill you up with a nice thickness about it, so it lays in your mouth. I hope you enjoy it. 2 quarts it made. So that's really a good 4 servings. Enjoy.